Selamat datang di Fakultas Pertanian Universitas Brawijaya. Fakultas ini memiliki 4 jurusan, yaitu jurusan Tanah. Bidang kajian di jurusan Tanah memfokuskan kelestarian lingkungan menuju terciptanya sistem pertanian yang berlanjut, manajemen kesuburan tanah dan ketersediaan sumber daya air bagi tanaman, serta manajemen sumber daya alam termasuk agroforestry dengan pendekatan ekologi ekonomi yang seimbang. Jurusan Budidaya Pertanian. Jurusan Budidaya Pertanian mempelajari dan menerapkan cara-cara peningkatan produksi tanaman serta perbaikan teknik budidaya tanaman secara berkelanjutan. Aspek yang dikaji yaitu genetik tanaman, fisiologi tanaman, penampilan fisik tanaman, dan kondisi iklim mikro dan makro di sekitar lingkungan tanaman.
We will recommend you to take the stairs in front of the main hall of our venue today.
And we would also like to remind all the participants, if you have not registered yourself yet, please go to the registration desk and do the registrations before we start the conference. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the third International Conference on Agriculture and Food Sustainability (ICAFOSI),
held on 30 to 31st October 2023.
This conference is proudly presented by Agricultural Socioeconomics Department, Faculty of Agriculture, Universitas Brawijaya Malang, Indonesia.
Bring up the theme, enhancing the resilience of food systems for food and nutritional security under climate change in the developing countries.
The third ICAFOSI wants to engage with professionals, academics, expertises, researchers, internationally and nationally to enrich the new knowledge and also wider perspective, especially in the food security under the issue of the climate change and also the demand of food system resilience, particularly in the developing countries.
It is an honor for us to greet and welcome all the professors, scientists, academics, invitations, presenters, and participants here.
And today is the first day. Let us introducing ourselves. My name is Dian Islami and also my partner,
Fred Daniel Umbing.
And we are the Master of Ceremony of today International Conference. It is really nice to meet you all in this special occasion. And as in these special occasions, we would like to also to greet our honorable guest for today, the Vice Rector 4 of the Cooperation and Collaborations and also Internationalization, Dr. Andi Kurniawan, SPIM, DSC, the Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture, Universitas Brawijaya, Professor Mangku Purnomo, PhD, the Honorable Vice Dean 1 of the Academic Affairs, Dr. Afifuddin Latif Adirejo, SPMSC, the Honorable Vice Dean 2, Dr. Fahriyah, SPMSI, the Honorable Vice Dean 3, Dr. Nuhrami Ardiarini, SPMSI, and also Professor Nufil Hanani, the Honorable, and also we have Dr. Rosiana Asmara here in our special occasions. And also we would like to greet and welcome to our Head of Department of Agricultural Socioeconomics, Dr. Fitriadina Riana, SPMP.
And then we would like to Honorable Head of Agronomy Department, Dr. Agronomi Nunun Barunawati, SPMP, Honorable Head of Plant Protection Department, Lukman Kurata Aini, SP, MSc PhD. Honorable Head of Soil Science Department, Syahrul Kurniawan, SP, MP PhD. Honorable Head of Postgraduate School, Professor Dr. Insinyur Kuswanto MP. And our keynote speakers for day 1, Dr. Wang Linma from Lincoln University, New Zealand. Kenichiro Nitsuka, PhD from Kyoto University, Japan. Dr. Juwaida Sharifuddin from University Putra, Malaysia. Professor Dr. Insinyur Bustanu Arifin, MSc from Agricultural Economics.
And we would like also to welcome the honorables and also the lecturers, staff, and students of the Faculty of Agriculture, Universitas Brawijaya. And also, Daniel, we have the presenter and participants that join us today by using online application. So, welcome to all of you, all the participants and presenters, offline and online. And then for the first agenda, we will start with the singing the national anthem together, so that I would like to invite all the participants to stand up for a while and we will sing Indonesia Raya together. The audiences may sit down.
Indonesia is a country that has rich culture from the east till the west side. At this special occasion, we would like to present a beautiful performance from student of Agriculture Faculty, University of Brawijaya. This performance will show you the beauty and the charm of Indonesians women that can never be deciphered infinitely. Without any further ado, please enjoy Banyuwangi traditional dance Sorote Lintang. Okay, and that's all for the performance of the Banyuwangi traditional dance Sorate Lintang, and it is such a beautiful performance. Distinguished guests, for the next session, we will listen to the welcoming speech and report from the chairman of the third IKAFOSI, Dr. Rizka Amalia, SKPM MSI. To Dr. Rizka Amalia, time is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Yes, good morning. It's morning then. Honorable keynote speakers, respected professor, uh, vice of rector, dean of agriculture, faculty of agriculture, and its official, presenters, participants, and ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank to the keynote speakers who accepting the invitation and the attend in this conference. This year's ITAFOSI was held in hybrid and successfully cooperate with IUP proceeding Scopus for publishing the paper selected. Congratulations to the presenter and participant who abstracts are accepted and who can attend in this event. The third ITAFOSI committee are member of Agriculture, Faculty of Agriculture, Universitas Brawijaya, who have dedicated in the international conference from June until the day. Following the theme of ITAFOSI, we have 70 titles we were submitted by author for publication to the IOP Scopus and Agri Journal. And then in this conference, we have 70 presenters and more than 100 participants, both in person and online. I hope we can share our knowledge, expertise, and field experience on the impact of climate change on environment, social, and economic vulnerabilities during this conference. In this ecological crisis condition, particularly climate change, we must adjust our habits of consuming and managing the resource to ensure the long-term viability of the outcome and to the reduce gas emission. Finally, I want to express my gratitude to the University Brawijaya and Faculty of Agriculture for providing funding support for this event. For the committee, thank you so much for the hard work, dedication, and creativity in arranging the conference. I hope you have a good time in this conference. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ma'am Rizka Amalia, for the speech and the report. For the next session, we will listen to the welcoming speech will be delivered by the Dean of Agriculture Faculty, Professor Mangku Purnomo, PhD. To Professor Mangku Purnomo, PhD, time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On the many occasions, the official always give me the text, but actually it was quite difficult for me to read the text sometimes. So, thank you very much to speakers. Thank you so much to the rector of the Brawijaya University, especially for Vice Dean, Vice Rector for the international and collaborations. Thank you, Professor. What we call the nickname is this. Uh, thank you for coming. Also online, I have information that from the Kyoto University and also from the Lincoln University already joined with the Zoom. Actually, we already have at the Faculty of Agriculture 5 international conference. Yeah, the first conference on the social economic issue, and then we also have on the agroforestry, also on the climate change. The second, we also have issue on the what we call plant protection, something like that. Also, we have on the agronomy, on the social natural resource management seminars, international seminars. But the clue on this years, we focus on the so many exposure on the our agriculture community, on the agriculture economic, on the agriculture development. First, on the climate change, on the second, on the dietary pattern of our society that changing, the new generation come to our society, and then we change on our dietary. It's not only talking about the rice anymore, but we're talking about also the import and so on, the changes of the pattern of our young generations. Also, we're facing with the uncertainty on the international geopolitical environment, international geopolitical environment. We have the Ukraine war, today we have Gaza war, also we have some of the unnecessary shipping activity around the world that also directly will impact on our food security, on our food sovereignty. So that's why today one of our focus on the social economic department will be addressing this issue. Thank you so much for all the audience. Thank you so much for the all the organizer who make this activity on the third time, yeah, on the third time. So it's quite, and Pak Heri Taiba, on the initiator at the first time, and the Kaposi also come here. Thank you so much for the all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Prof. Mangku Purnomo, as our Dean of the Faculty, for the welcoming speech. Now we are moved to the opening speech by the Honorable Vice Rector 4 of the Collaboration and Cooperations and Internalizations, Dr. Andi Kurniawan, SPI, MNDSC. To Dr. Andi Kurniawan, time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning, everyone. It is my honor to having all of you in this very wonderful occasion. First of all, let me to send the warm regard from our rector. Exactly, he planned to directly come to this event. However, this morning we have a very important meeting about the Badan Usaha, about the planning of our university to improve the generating income. And that's why our rector sent me to meet all of you and ask the apologies and also congratulate all of you for this very wonderful occasion. Dean, Vice Dean, Head of Department, and all the staff, of course, the Honorable Prof. Nufil Hanani. He is my, not only the professor, but also my teacher, my mentor. And also Prof. Bustanul Arifin. Luckily, I come also from Lampung. So not only Japanese, but all the Sumatris from the Sumatra can also give more contribution to Indonesia. All the professor, researcher, participant, particularly the keynote speaker. Thank you so much for your coming, your contribution, for the occasion. And we think, Brawijaya University think, the occasion like this is very important moment that really can drive us as a scientist to give a more contribution to the world development. Ladies and gentlemen, by 2050 is not so long, 2050, we should give food for more 2 until 9 billion more people. This means we should increase 50% of agricultural product. 50% from agricultural product. And in the same time, we decrease the agricultural field. So this is a very serious problem. And to give more, 2 until 9 billion people, we will increase about 15 water withdrawals. Because when we use water in agriculture, that means we use water that usually used by human. That's why to improve agricultural product, 50% to give more to 9 billion, we will increase 50% water withdrawal. UN says in 2050, 1 of 4 people will face serious chronic water withdrawal. And all of this will be double, because this is the prediction based on the existing data, but the climate change will make everything worse, will be worse than everything. So if someone asks to me, what is the future field of study that will be always important for the development, should be agricultural. That's why this moment is brilliant moment, very good activity that will increase the awareness, researcher, student, and the people. That's why from the deep of heart of University of Brawijaya, we congratulate all of you, and hopefully you get a fruitful discussion and enjoy the conference. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you very much. And world development with your contribution. Bila taufiq wal hidayah, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, our Vice Rector 4, Dr. Andi Kurniawan, for the amazing speech. And also, by the end of the remark, we are happily announced that the third ICOFOSI is officially begin. Before we move forward to the next agenda, ladies and gentlemen, by the grace of our God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, we are all allowed together here in the beautiful occasions and place. And for such a blessing, let us pray together. So pray begins. Finish. Thank you. And then what we have for the next, Daniel?
Okay, so for the next agenda, we will have a group photos documentation. So to all the guests and all the participations, you may join us at the stage so we can take a picture together.
Maybe we can have two sides of the photo sessions. Yes, with the management board first, and then we can also join with the participants. Can enjoy the coffee breaks while waiting for starting up the next session. there will be 2 sessions of the keynote presentation, and then all the sessions will be led by our moderator today. We have the Honorable Dr. Rahman Hartono, SPMP, for the first sessions, and then for the second session, we have Professor Dr. Insinyur Kepi Sukesi, MS, for leading the second sessions. And then we also would like to read the several agendas of the sessions. And for the first sessions, we will have the presentation from Dr. Wang Linma from Lincoln University, New Zealand. And then we have Dr. Kenichiro Onitsuka, PhD from Kyoto University, Japan. And then for the sessions, it will be followed by the discussion sessions. So all the participants may asking some questions through offline and also in the Zoom applications. And then what we have for the second session, Daniel?
For the second session, will be led by Professor Dr. Insinyur Kepi Sukesi, MS, and then there will be 2 speakers, which is Dr. Zuwaidah Sharifuddin from University Putra Malaysia, and the second speaker is Professor Dr. Insinyur Bustanul Arifin, MSc from Agricultural Economics. And then every session there will be question and answer session, and then the last one will be presentation parallel session, and will be led by the person in charge every breakout room.
And then without further ado, let's start the first sessions of the keynote presentations. And then I would like to invite our moderator today, Dr. Rahman Hartono, to come in front. And then let me read in brief the curriculum vitae of Dr. Rahman Hartono, SPMP. Dr. Rahman Hartono, SPMP is gaining the Bachelor of Agriculture in the year of 1993, and then for the Master of Agriculture Economics in 2000, in the year of 2000s. And then he also had already graduated for the doctoral degree on 2023. And then for the working experiences, he is the lectures in the Department of Agricultural Socioeconomics, Economics, Faculty of Agriculture, Universitas Brawijaya, and then also occupied as the East Java Province Poverty Feminization Program Planning Team. And that for the research interests, his expertises are in the micro and small scale agribusiness development, contract farming, and supply chain management. So ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Rahman Hartono.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dian and Mas Karot. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, thank the Almighty Allah SWT for showering us with blessings so we can attend this special occasion, because today we will talk about the food resilience in the developing country facing the problem with the environment changing. Thank you for the Vice Rector, International Cooperation and Collaboration, also the Dean of Faculty of Agriculture, and we have in here the special guest, the Chairman of the PERHAPI. Thank you very much from Prof. Inul for joining us in this occasion, and to all of the audience in this room and also in this Zoom, yeah. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rahman Hartono, and I will moderate the first session. In this first session, we have Associate Professor Wang Linma, PhD from Lincoln University, and Associate Professor Kenichiro Onitsuka from Kyoto University. Before that, I will present the short view from the two of the invited speaker. Mr. Wang Linma received PhD degree in agricultural economics from the University of Kiel, Germany in 2016. He works mainly in the field of agricultural economics and development economics, and he has published over 120 articles in internationally peer-reviewed journal and received and reviewed articles for more than 100 journals. According to the 2023 economics ranking based on the past 10-year publishing at IDS, he is now ranked top 10 economists in New Zealand. So that the short view from Associate Professor Wang Linma. And the second, I will present short view from Associate Professor Kenichiro Onizuka, PhD. After completing his master degree in agricultural, specializing in rural planning, he gains nearly 10-year experience in the software development industry. And now he is joined the Graduate School of Global Environmental Study at Kyoto University, and since 2015, his research interests have expanded to include additional communication and visualization technology such as 3D modeling, virtual reality, augmented reality, and drones. Within the realm of rural planning, simultaneously, he has also directed his attention to addressing the negative consequences of technology integration, such as the erosion of strong social ties and the declining value of human resources due to the mechanization. Mr. Wang Linma will present his presentation entitled Climate Smart Agricultural Practices and Sustainable Agri-Food Production, while Mr. Konichiro will present her presentation entitled Contemporary Challenges in Japanese Agriculture. Before that, I will mention the rule of this first session. Both of the speaker will have 30 minutes for presentation, and then we have 25 minutes for discussion. Pak Wang Linma, do you hear my voice, Pak Wang Linma?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, thank you very much. And Pak Kenichiro, do you hear my voice?
Oh, hello. Yes, I can hear you clearly. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will let the first Mr. Wang Linma for presenting his presentation. Pak Wang Linma, time is yours. You have 30 minutes.
So can all of you see my screen? Dr. Hatono, can you see my screen? Can you hear my voice?
Yes, your presentation is on the screen right now.
Okay, great. Okay, so firstly, thank you very much for inviting me to be a speaker in this important international conference. It's my great honor to be here, especially to see some old friends here, because I have very good collaborations with the University of Brawijaya for a long time. And today, the topic of my presentation is climate smart agriculture practices and sustainable agriculture food production. So this is outline of my talk. So feeding the growing global population while meeting the environmental impact of agriculture is one of humanity's gravest, most pressing concerns, because increased food production often comes at the expense of the environment and climate change, and there is an urgent need to innovate and adopt practices to achieve higher yields while shrinking agriculture's environmental footprint. Agriculture contributes to the large proportion of climate change. This is because that agriculture, forestry, and land use were responsible for 18% of the global greenhouse gas emissions in 2022. So agriculture is a very important is a very important sector, but it contributes to the climate change, especially greenhouse gas emissions. The data shows that 50% of the global habitable land is allocated to agriculture, and 70% of the water's fresh water is used for agriculture. And agriculture is responsible for 78% of the ocean and freshwater eutrophication. So here we can see agriculture is a very important sector, and it contributes to climate change. Small reduction in the environmental footprint of agriculture can add significant impetus to the global push for countering climate change. However, achieving these reductions ought to be accompanied by improvements in agriculture productivity and yield to address global food insecurity. So improving agriculture productivity and ensuring food security is very important. It is projected that by 2050, the global population will be achieved around 9.7 million. To meet the food demand for the growing population, the food production must increase 70%. Therefore, it is very important to increase agriculture productivity and yield to address global food insecurity issues. So here, around 750 million people, nearly a tenth of the world population, suffered from food insecurity by now. At this rate, having a world without hunger by 2030 and set out by in Sustainable Development Goals, especially Goal 2 of the United Nations, is not possible. The confluence of climate change, food insecurity, the environmental impact of agriculture, and the growing demand for action to mitigate climate change underscores the importance of understanding whether and to what extent sustainable agriculture can improve crop yields, such as rice. For example, rice, the food staple of half of the world population, is a special interest, and especially Indonesia. Indonesia is a very important rice production country, and rice production is challenged by lots of external influences in Indonesia. So, although food insecurity is per se pervasive in low and middle income countries, it is not confined to them. It threatens public health even in advanced economics, because inadequate food consumption will also lead to nutrition insecurity in developed countries. So food insecurity will not only influences people living in low and middle income countries, it will also influences people living in developed countries. Therefore, whether and to what extent climate change agriculture practices can improve crop yields is a very important topic. So what is climate smart agriculture practices? So climate smart agriculture practices refer to those agriculture technologies or agriculture practices that can increase agriculture productivity and income. So we know higher productivity can contribute to higher farm income directly. And the second one is the practices should help build society and agri-food systems that are resilient to climate change. And the third one is reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Overall, if agriculture practice can meet these three requirements, it can be treated as a climate smart agriculture practice. So from the literature, the scholars have revealed that adoption of climate smart agriculture practices can improve farm performance. For example, the study by World Bank in 2013 found that the adoption of zero tillage in Kazakhstan in 2012 generated 0.7 tons of wheat, which is enough to feed around 5 million people. So here, zero tillage is one of the examples of climate smart agriculture practices. The second example is from the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization in 2022. It shows that the implementation of a permanent raised bed farming system in Gansu is a province in China, boosted crop yields by 4.2% while increasing water use efficiency by 21% relative to traditional tillage. So here, permanent raised bed farming system is also another one of examples of climate smart agriculture practices. However, we should be aware that no one size fits all suits of practices that can achieve desirable outcomes across the board. And extrapolating the effects of climate smart agriculture practices from one text to another is ill-advised. This highlights the importance that we should expand our understanding in this field because different agriculture practices may fit the specific country-based conditions, and some of the practices cannot be generalized when they address the climate change issues. The existing studies have explored the effects of adopting climate smart agriculture practices on crop yields, with most studies showing that climate smart agriculture can improve yields. However, most studies have not considered the synergies between these practices. That means that most of the studies have focused on only one technology or one practice when they explore the relationship between climate smart agriculture practice adoption and farm performance. So emerging body of work is beginning to bridge this gap by considering different types of climate smart agriculture practices. Here, the Ishaku and Abdullah considered the joint adoption of crop choice and soil and water conservation measures. They considered crop choice and soil and water conservation measures as two climate smart agriculture practices. As I mentioned, that previous studies have many focused on one practice or one technology, which can only provide partial picture regarding the relationship between climate smart agriculture practice adoption and farm performance. And Mate and co-authors in 2020 analyzed the effects of a joint adoption of row planting and drought-tolerant maize varieties on the yields and intensity of maize commercialization. And here, in the second example, this author considered row planting and drought-tolerant maize varieties as two examples of climate smart agriculture practices. Here, we can see, although some studies have tried to explore the have considered the different types of climate smart agriculture practices together. And these practices may be country specific or crop specific, which cannot be generalized. Farmers usually in practice have adopted multiple, not one or two, climate smart agriculture practices to mitigate the climate change or to mitigate the negative effects of climate change. Nevertheless, there is a positive analysis of the impact of the number of climate smart agriculture practices on crop yields. That means very few studies have considered the number of climate smart agriculture practices on crop yields. So here in the examples, the Oyanica in 2020 considered 9 climate change adaptation strategies of fish farmers in Nigeria when they explore the relationship between climate smart agriculture practices, adoption, and farm performance. And this field should be further expanded because, as I emphasized previously, some practices are country specific or crop specific. Therefore, in this work, we aim to extend the literature by examining the relationship between the number of CFPs adopted by rice farmers and rice yields. And we use collect data from 5 Chinese provinces, that is Gansu, Henan, Hubei, Henan, Hunan, and Sichuan. So in China, based on the geographical characteristics, the China can be divided into western, eastern, and central parts. So these 5 provinces cover all those 3 regions. Therefore, the data were quite national representative. So in this research, we focused on rice farmers. So China is also, like Indonesia, China is also a very important rice producer in the world. And the Chinese people also consume lots of rice. It is also one of the largest exporter of rice. Therefore, rice production in China plays a very important role in ensuring national food security. China is also the world's largest consumer of chemical fertilizer. We say chemical fertilizer is also an important factor that contributes to climate change and greenhouse gas emissions from the agriculture sector. Chinese farmers, like those in other developing countries such as Indonesia, are prone to ill health due to exposure to agrochemicals that are routinely applied as part of traditional agriculture practices. So here we can briefly see the rice production status in China. We can say the rice production is highest in China. This is followed by India, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and Vietnam. However, the rice yields that is output per unit of land is quite low in China, which is ranked 12th in 2020. That means although China is the largest rice producer and consumer, the rice yield is quite low, which means it is very important to improve rice yield to ensure food security, because rice is a important staple food. So in this research, we contribute to the literature from different aspects. Firstly, we analyze the factors affecting the number of CAPs adopted by rice farmers in China. So different from other studies that either consider binary adoption or they consider 2 or 3 practices. In this study, we consider the number of CAPs adopted by rice production. And secondly, we analyze the effects of adoption of CAPs on rice yield, because rice yield will directly contribute to food security. And thirdly, we use a conditional mixed process model to jointly estimate the CMP adoption equation and rice yield equation to address the endogeneity issues associated with the CMP adoption. This is the first equation we used to estimate the impact of CMP on crop yields. And here, YI refers to the rice yield for farmer I or sample I. CMP refers to the number of CMPs adopted by rice farmers, and XI refers to a vector of control variables, and mu I is an error term. So here, I need to emphasize that adoption of CMP is not random. That means it is farmer's self-selection decision. Both observed factors and unobserved factors would influence farmers' decisions to adopt the CMP. Therefore, CMP is an endogenous variable which should be addressed. Otherwise, the estimated effect would be biased. So to address the endogeneity issues of CMP adoption, we need to model the decisions of adopting CMPs. And here, CMP adoption equation can be illustrated in this way. Because in this study, we considered the number of CMP adopted. Therefore, we present this equation as a ordered probability model. So here, Zi is a vector of exogenous variables, and Fi is a parameter to be estimated, and epsilon I is an error term. So employing the empirical strategy that account for the endogeneity associated with MP is very important. And here, different approaches can be used to address the endogeneity issue of the CMP. This includes, for example, propensity score matching, the augmented inverse weighted estimator, that is the AIPW estimator, and IPWIA estimator. These 3 approaches are non-parametric approaches which can only address the selection bias issues raised from observed factors. Therefore, it cannot fully address the endogeneity issues of CMP adoption. And in comparison, endogenous treatment regression model can also be used to address the endogeneity issues. And can address the indigeneity issues raised from both observed and unobserved factors. However, in this ETR model, the treatment variable should be binary. However, in this analysis, the CMP adoption variable is measured as a count variable. Therefore, we use the conditional mixed process model. It is more flexible to model the farmers' decisions to adopt different combinations of climate smart agriculture practices and also the crop yields. Therefore, we use this model, and this model will jointly estimate the yield equation and the CMP adoption equation. So the CMP model is characterized by a two-stage estimation procedure. So the first stage is to model the farmer's decisions to adopt different number of CMP using the ordered probability model. And the second one is linear regression, which is employed to analyze the effects of adopting CMP on crop yield. And here, we do not use we do not use the points regression model, and we use the ordered probability model because we expect that adopting higher number of CMP is better than adopting lower number of CMP. The maximum likelihood estimator is employed to estimate those two equations and jointly. And the significance of the error term of those two equations would suggest the presence of an indigeneity issue arising from unobserved factors. So in this study, we use the number of technical training sessions on agriculture production received by farmers as an instrumental variable to whether farmers have received the technical training session from agriculture extension agents and how many times. This is a test of the instrumental variable. So here, the data used in this study were collected in China in January to February 2022, and we used a multi-stage sampling procedure to collect data. So firstly, we randomly select 5 provinces from China, from the western, central, and eastern parts of China to make sure the collected data are nationally representative. And then we select 8 to 10 counties in each of the 5 provinces, and then 1 to 2 villages were randomly selected from the third stage, and in the last stage, we select the households. We select around 10 households in each village. And after data cleaning, we obtained 432 rice farmer samples. And here, this is the climate smart agriculture practices we considered in this present study. The first one is medium tillage. And the second one is improved rice varieties. The third one is farmyard manure. The fourth one is water saving technology. The last one is biopesticides. And here, the minimum tillage, which minimizes the stubble bury and stubble retention at sowing, or adding suitable mulch that help cover the ground, standard culture virus control measures that help to diminish the landing rates of aphid vectors and so decrease virus spread. And this is the number of climate smart agriculture technologies adopted by farmers. So from this figure, we can see that in the sample, around 27% of farmers did not adopt any climate-smart agricultural practices, and 37% of farmers adopted only one practice, and only 3.5% of farmers adopted 4 or 5 climate-smart agriculture practices. So in general, we can say that the adoption rate is low, and very few farmers have adopted a high intensity of climate smart agriculture practices. And this is the and how many minutes do I still have?
Sorry,
Hello?
Pak Panglima, your time, you just have 5 minutes left.
Oh, 5 minutes left.
Your time.
Yeah, that's great. I can definitely finish it. Yeah. And this is the variables used in this study. The dependent variable is rice yield, as mentioned earlier. Higher rice yield contributes to food security directly. And we also have different control variables and also the location variables. And this is the main result of this study. So we can see that adoption of CMP can increase rice yield by 94 kilograms per unit of land. And also the correlation coefficient, that's the rho epsilon mu, is significant and negative, suggesting that there exist heterogeneity issues associated with unobserved factors, and highlighting the importance of addressing the heterogeneity issue of CMP adoption variable. So this is my findings of this study. We can see the adoption of CMP can improve rice yield by 94 kg per mu. So mu is a Chinese unit used to measure land, which is equivalent to 1,410 kg per hectare. And households headed by males have achieved higher yields than female heads. And farmers who experienced a drought during the recent growing season reported low yields, and droughts were associated with a 140 kg per mu reduction in yield. And educated farmers and those who experienced a drought during the most recent growing seasons, and those who perceived the rainfall to have changed during the 5 past preceding years are more likely to adopt CMPs. So from this research, we can conclude that promoting formal education itself is important to facilitate the adoption of CMPs. And formal education provides the basis for learning new skills and assimilating knowledge, creating lifelong learners. Therefore, government may collaborate with farmers' organizations to train farmers to improve their human capital. And awareness campaigns designed to inform farmers of climate risks, and information sessions to discuss potential ways to reduce their risk exposure may encourage farmers to adopt CMPs. So we should improve farmers' awareness of adopting the climate-smart agriculture practices. And programs targeted to help female-headed households acquire the skills, resources, and knowledge to increase yields should be implemented. And lastly, training farmers in farming practice and providing them with the requisite inputs to help help them minimize or even eliminate losses during the droughts should be considered. And by taking these practices or policy implications, we can help improve farm performance. Okay, that's all for my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pak Wang Linma, for your beautiful presentation and insightful. And now I will call Mr. Kenichiro Onitsuka, PhD, for presenting your presentation. Time is yours, Kenichiro Onitsuka.
Okay. Thank you very much. So can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, so now I'd like to share my presentation material. Is it okay? Can you see the screen? Again, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, so now I'd like to start my speech. So first, thank you very much for inviting me to this very wonderful conference held in the Brawijaya University. Yeah, I have also had a kind of long-term relationship with some researchers in the Brawijaya University. And today, I mainly talk about the current or contemporary challenges in the Japanese agriculture. Yeah, I know that the situation between Japan and Indonesia are a little bit different, especially in the population issues. But I think, well, I hope maybe some audience can learn some from the Japanese challenges, because maybe the labor force shortage will be a very common issue both in Japan and Indonesia. Okay. So I'd like to start with this slide regarding the current situation in Japan, especially about agriculture. Okay, so first, I briefly look at the population, the current population issue in Japan. So now, as of the October in this year, the total population in Japan is approximately 124 million. Yes. But for comparison, maybe just 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago, the number was nearly about 126 or 7. So population has been declining at a very rapid pace. Yes. And population first dropped in the 2005. Yes. But after that, maybe in 2006 and 2007, population increased again. But since 2008, the population has continuously declining. Yeah. And now, yeah, it is the current situation. And also the population density is relatively high compared to other countries in the world. And also when we look at when it comes to the population of farmers, yes. And this is the figure as of the 2015, yeah, according to the National Census of Agriculture and Forestry. But maybe most of you cannot imagine how serious it is. Yeah, the number, for example, the 2,555,000. Yeah. So for comparison, yeah, I checked some latest figure regarding the population of farmers in Japan. So this is it. Yeah. So in 2019, maybe about 4 years later, this census survey, the farmer population at that time is about 1,680,000. So maybe you can imagine that the population drop, especially in the agriculture, is quite severe because maybe about 20% already decreased just within the less than 5 years. And also the farmer population has been rapidly aging. And this is a very awful or terrible figure. Yeah, I can share with you. Yeah, this is the population share in agricultural sector who are aged older than 65 years old. So its figure shows that nearly 2/3 of the farmer populations are older than 65 years now. So yeah, we definitely have some very critical sustainability issue in agriculture. Yes, and also when it comes to the share of the Japan agriculture, forestry, and fisheries in GDP, and actually agriculture and fishery shares account for only 1% of the national GDP. And including some other food-related industries, like, for example, the food processing industries or the kind of restaurants, etc., then the proportion grows to about 10%. But agriculture only itself, excluding the forestry and fishery, only 0.88%. So it's quite small. Yes. And this is just a data showing how severe the aging population in agricultural sector is. So maybe you can just check the figure on the right side. Yeah. So this is the proportion of farmers by age groups. So for example, you can understand that maybe the farmers older than 70 years old shares about 60% of the total farmer population. Yes. And also when it comes to the age group of 60 to 69, the share is already 20%. So in total, the farmers older than 60 years old shares about 80%. Yeah. So you can maybe imagine how serious it is. So maybe 20 years later, maybe the core farmer population is like this in the red rectangle. Yes, it is nearly 20% of the current farmer population. Yeah, so it is very critical how to keep the agriculture sustainable in Japan. Yeah. Okay, so now I briefly introduce the kind of land use in Japan. And total land area in 2018 in Japan was about 36.8 million. So it has not changed so much, yeah, even now. But the very good characteristic of Japanese land use is this. Because Japan is a very mountainous area, similar to Indonesia. So nearly two-thirds of the national land are covered by forest. And another 10 to 12% are used for the agricultural production. Yes, farmlands. Yes. So combining those, it's already 80%. And for the other 20% left, we use for example, the residential areas or some roads or water related land use. And sometimes only less than 1% are used for wilderness. This is the overall picture of the Japanese land use. And due to the rapidly aging and declining population in especially the agricultural sectors, and now the abandoned farmland is a very critical issue. Abandoned farmland. Actually, this number has been growing so rapidly, as the population grows. Yes, and so now this data was as of the 2015. And the total farmland are nearly 480 million hectares. But out of that, already 42.3 million hectares are abandoned due to the aging and declining population. Yes. And after abandonment of the farmlands, maybe just within the couple of years, then maybe those farmlands, abandoned farmlands, can be restored to the farmlands, as shown here in the yellow rectangle. But maybe after long time passed, then maybe those abandoned farmland changed into this type of the dilapidated farmland. Then it is very hard to convert or get this type of farmland back to the arable farmland. Yes. So how to stop this farmland abandonment is also a very critical issue in Japan. Okay. And also the deterioration of the farmland leads to some loss of the multifunctional roles in agriculture. Yeah, this is also sourced by the Ministry of Agriculture in Japan. Sorry for using the Japanese kind of figures, but I will translate some important parts. So multifunctional roles of agriculture incorporate several roles as shown here. The most important ones are conservation of environment, or the conservation of culture or some tradition. And also it is, and farmland or agriculture is good place for the provision of beautiful landscape or recreational space. So people even in urban area can visit rural area to enjoy the beautiful landscape or natural environment. And also, farmland also works for the disaster mitigation. But after deterioration of the farmlands, these important multifunctional roles also could be deteriorated. So we definitely need to consider what are necessary for the sustainable agriculture in Japan or in country like Japan. Okay, so here are a very basic, questions. So firstly, the most fundamental question is what are needed to sustain agriculture in this declining population? And I think there are totally two major measures to tackle this type of issues. So first one is to secure the next generation of agricultural workers. So this is how to keep the human resources for agricultural sector. Yeah, but as we saw in the last figure, then maybe it is very certain that the proportion of the number of the agricultural workers will be declining in the future, continuously in the future. So the first one is not always important. It is very important, but not always possible. Yeah, or possible enough. So that's why we also have to consider a kind of labor saving or efficiency improvements through a kind of smart agriculture or related technology. So technology can directly compensate for the human resource shortages. And this is also another big challenge. Yes. And then, so the next question, how to keep or how to secure the next generation of agricultural workers or the human resource in the agricultural sectors. And there are several policy measures by the national or local governments in Japan, as I will introduce in the latter slides. But briefly, I summarized those policy measures here. Okay, so first one is the support from the government for communities, direct support from the government. And this is represented by the direct payment system. Yes. And also the land accumulation consideration is also a very important task for the Japanese agriculture. And also the accumulated land or consolidated lands should be given to the motivated actors or motivated farming actors. And it means not just individuals or small-scale actors, but also a kind of agricultural corporate or some other private companies. And then this type of agricultural cooperation or participation of external companies are also required. And third, the introduction of external supporters, because it's not always easy to keep the sufficient labor force inside the rural areas. So we have to consider the way to introduce some labor force from outside. Yeah, so external supporters also are highly required. So some representative policy measures are like, for example, the support staff system. Yeah, this is a kind of system that sends some governmental officials directly to the rural areas to take care of the local issues. And also some popular policy measure is like regional revitalization cooperators. Yes, I will introduce it, briefly introduce it later. And still, one specific rural village or rural areas, it is not easy to keep the human resource, as I said repeatedly. So, the kind of adjacent rural villages should cooperate with each other in the bit larger scale. So it is so-called inter-regional cooperation. And this is also a very key topic for the agricultural policy in Japan. Okay, so aside from this type of human resource related topic and challenge, and another challenge is how to use the kind of technology to make up for the human resource shortage. And one important point is, of course, that technological advancement, or technology introduction. Yes, it is a very core important topic. But at the same time, technology itself is not enough, actually, to realize the sustainable agriculture using the smart agriculture. Because smart agriculture requires a specific kind of infrastructure, for example, like, for example, the large-scale farm plots, yes, or another internet infrastructure, internet or GPS infrastructure development. Without those infrastructure or basic infrastructure, it is hard to actually make the agricultural technology work well in the agriculture, in the current farmland. And another important issue for the sustainable rural or sustainable agriculture is environmental friendly agriculture. But I think today I don't have enough time to mention much of this. So just introduce those are very important keywords. These are very popular keywords in Japan, like organic farming or low input sustainable agriculture with less amount of the fertilizer, chemical fertilizer, and also the environmental friendly agriculture of Japan. Okay, so from now, I would like to introduce some representative policy measure to tackle the current or the future agricultural issue. And okay, so first, I start with the kind of introduction of the third iteration of the National Spatial Planning. And actually, National Spatial Planning is the toppest level of the National Development Plan in Japan. Yes, and the latest one, the third iteration, was just approved by the cabinet this year in July. And this is the overall picture of the this national and the latest national spatial planning in Japan. Yeah, of course, there are too many information, so I just summarize the important points regarding this plan, national level plan. Okay, so the core vision for the national or nation's land development is defined as a territory to seek for the territory connecting regional strengths in the new era, and also the constructing a new regional management system to support the entire archipelago. This is the overall vision of this latest national development plan in Japan. Yes, and then I think to me, actually the most important keyword is here, connecting. Yeah, actually the connection is the key point of this spatial and top-level national plan. And then to keep the connection, what is important is a kind of digital infrastructure or ICT, as shown as the number one important pillar of this plan. So number one pillar is the creating a vibrant land through the fusion of digital and real. So it's the digital infrastructure or digital transformation is a core concept in this top-level plan. And also the building a safe and secure land in response to major disasters, climate crisis or climate change, and escalating the international situations. Yeah, this is also a very important, because Japan is often experiencing some heavy disaster. And the third one is to build a land with a unique character that nurtures the beautiful nature and diverse culture we are proud of in the world. Yes, so this is the top level plan. Okay, so I introduced the two important challenges for the sustainable agriculture in Japan. The first one is human resource shortage. Yes, and this is one representative policy measure, yeah, for the human resource issues. This is a direct payment system of Japan. Okay, and the most maybe typical one is the one payment for the activities to enhance the multifunctionality. Yeah, and direct payment means that simply means that governments directly pay some money to some people who are engaged in the kind of activities. And activity incorporates, for example, the farmland maintenance activities. Yes, like shown in these pictures. So government pays some money to the people who are engaged in the kind of this type of farmland maintenance activities. Otherwise, this type of activity is sometimes very tiring. So many people, especially the non-farmers, are not motivated to do that. But if so, we have a very severe human resource shortage. That's why government pay money to motivate people, including non-farmers. Yeah, this is a very important and very actually effective policy measure, yeah, to keep the agricultural land conditions sustainable. And also there are several paddy fields on the very steep slope in Japan, in mountainous areas. And it is also a very kind of heavy for farmers, elderly farmers, to keep the farming in this type of areas. So government pay money to those people who are engaged in the kind of agricultural works in this type of bit disadvantaged areas. And the third one is the direct payments for the environmentally friendly agriculture, as I mentioned before. Yes, and also the environmental friendly agriculture also is a very important issue. So government pays some money to some farmers who are engaged in this type of environmental friendly agriculture. Okay, so another one is to invite some external supporters from outside. Yeah, and the representative policy measure is like local vitalization cooperators. Yes, and the governments, national or local governments, pay money to some younger people living outside the rural area, for example, mainly in urban areas. So government directly pay money to that kind of younger people who can work for the local issue, agricultural or some other issues. Yes, and those younger people must to directly live in the local areas, but then they can get paid by governments for some amount of this is kind of salary. Yes. The salary is not so bad. Actually, 1 year kind of average salary is like 200,000 JPY. It's very kind of common salary level to other sectors. And government try to increase the number of this type of cooperators. Yes, and now this is a bit old, but currently the number is about 6,400. Yeah, about. And the governments try to increase this number to, for example, 10,000 in the future. And another one, to keep the human resources is like this. Yeah, actually in Japan, there are a lot of small-scale rural villages in the very mountainous areas. Yeah, like shown here. And each rural village, of course, does not have sufficient human labor sources. So it is important to cooperate among these small-scale villages. And so government try to facilitate the cooperation or collaboration of the multiple small-scale rural villages together to tackle the local issues or including the agricultural issues. And this is also a very important point to enlarge the kind of system. Okay, so I move on to the next topic regarding the technological introduction or intervention. And actually, Japan Japanese office, a cabinet office made a very important concept, which is called Society 5.0. And this is a society fully utilizing a kind of digital resources or digital technologies to achieve a variety of some purposes. For example, this society in this Society 5.0, it's a society in which all people and things are connected by IoT, in which new values are created. Yes. And also maybe here, as you can see, the society where robots, self-driving cars, and other technology expand human potential, or something like that. Yes. And this is a very well-known concept in Japan. And the most important practice of Society 5.0, especially in the agricultural sector, is the smart agriculture or smart farming. Yes, and the smart farming is to emphasize the kind of strength of the country's agriculture. Yeah, and also using this advanced technology, we try to keep the agriculture sustainable. Yeah, with use of the, for example, the automatic operation system, or kind of assisting suit, so that even elderly people can work hard in the agricultural sector, or some other AI analysis or sensing, smart sensing technology, so that people can easily have some kind of precise agriculture. And impacts of smart agriculture or farming in Japan is as shown here. The automation of work using advanced technologies, such as robot tractors or smartphone-operated paddy field water management systems, make it possible to expand the scale of agriculture, or even compensate for the human resource shortages. And also ICT technology can make it possible for younger farmers, or just beginner farmers, to inherit the agricultural skills of skilled farmers. And the use of the analysis of sensing data can be used to accurately predict crop growth and disease, and to provide advanced agricultural knowledge for advanced management. Yeah, this is what agriculture is defined in Japan. But of course, as I said, to realize the agriculture technology, this type of digital agricultural technology, we need to prepare a kind of infrastructure which is suitable for this type of latest technology. So there are several challenges by the national governments, and there are many, but the representative one is like this kind of enlargement of the farm plots, so that the smart agricultural machines can easily, efficiently work. Yeah, and yes. And also some other measures are taken place. Like, for example, it is effective to set up the pathways between the farm plots that allow autonomous agricultural machinery to easily move to adjacent plots without having to travel or cross roads. And this is also important. Yes. So, or many other things are challenged, yes, by governments. Additionally,
I'm
also,
sorry, Pak Kenichiro.
yes.
Let me
I will
just remind you that your time is 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Yeah, just have 5 minutes left.
Okay,
5
I can.
minutes left. So
Hi.
just remind you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I can finish it soon. Okay. So another issue is the digital infrastructure. Yeah, of course, the internet connection is a very critical to realize the the smart agriculture. Yes. And also some GPS or GNSS signal also should be available. Yeah. To keep, for example, for the kind of this type of tractor, high-tech tractor, to keep running straight. Yeah. This is due to the this is using the kind of accurate positioning system using the GPS satellite system. So this is also very important infrastructure. And also some farmland improvement also are required. Yeah, because for example, when we try to fly the kind of drone to make fertilizing, and then drone often keeps flying at the very same height. But if the farmlands are very steep on the very steep slope, then drone easily crash on the ground. Yeah. So farmlands also should be adjusted. Yeah. So that some kind of drone can fly. Yeah, safely. Yes. And also the similar thing are true for a kind of this type of the automatic mowing machine, mowing grass mower. Yes. Yes. And this is the last slide of my presentation. And actually, this is still a kind of trial stage in Japan of this type of smart farming technology. So it is not always very popular in Japan. Just a few areas, some this type of advanced technological challenge are conducted. Yes, but due to some test or field examination, we had a very kind of significant impacts or effects by this smart agricultural technology. So for example, the crop dusting with drone, dropped the time per 10 hour, dropped by 78%. Yeah, it is quite a big reduction of time. And also some automated water management system, reduced some working hours by 71%, and also some automatic assisted rice planter also decreased the time required time by 11%. So this type of smart agriculture technology can definitely reduce the labor. Yeah, but still, we have some challenges, especially in the kind of, for example, the costs or some infrastructure development. And this is the major topic or challenge by the Japanese government. Okay, so this is the last slide. Thank you very much for attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kenichiro, for your presentation. I think both of the presenters right now have the same topic but different focus. Mr. Wang Linma sharing the effect of smart agriculture in improving the productivity of rice, and Mr. Kenichiro with a different angle to describe, to present what happened in Japanese, especially in the smart agricultural more detail about how to implement smart agriculture, something like that. And now we go to the next part of this session, and I will call the audience from the offline and also online. So first of all, I invite the participant for the offline. So please raise your hand and mention your name and ask both of the presenter. In the back, the first in the back, the student. And yes, please. The microphone. Please go to the neck. Go to the stick. The mic. Okay.
Check. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the chance that has given to me. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is, and I'm an undergraduate student of agriculture of University of Brawijaya. Thank you very much for Mr. Mu and Mr. Onitsuka for your new perspective for us about the agriculture in Japan and China. But I have maybe just 3 questions for Mr. Mu and Mr. Onitsuka. First, I believe that agriculture is not only an activity. So just like I believe that smart agriculture is not thinking about the innovation, but smart agriculture, I believe that the people is smart, nation is smart, and just the technologies is also smart. What I see that is something wrong about smart agriculture is just thinking about the drone, the IoT, the technologies. But how about the people? Is don't we think about agriculture is about how to develop a people, not just developing the Internet of Things? First question about for Mr. Mu and Mr. Onsuka, and I would like to ask the second question for Mr. Onsuka. That is, how about the assistance of the Japan's government or the farmer for the two problems in Japan, just like the land and the declining of the population? How about the assistance of the and the third, I would like to ask you, Mr. Mu and Mr. Onitsuka, about how about your perspective? While we're talking here about the sustainable agriculture, or while the world is talking about sustainable development goals, 24 people in okay. While we're talking here about the sustainable agriculture, 24 people in sustainable agriculture, 24 people in Papua died because of hunger, and thousands of them was dying because of hunger. So why is this happening? Is this just because we all are a good conceptor but bad actions? This is very great for me for about these problems. Thank you very much for the changes, and thank you.
Thank you for your question, and I will add one or two more to questioning. Is there any? Okay.
Yes, probably I can answer the first question about the people. Yeah. Okay, great. I think people, especially farmers, are the key to implement different types of climate smart agriculture practices. So, firstly, a government should help farmers to identify different types of climate smart agriculture practices that are location specific or country specific. And then they should provide trainings with farmers to improve their awareness of those technologies and train them how to use them or to adopt them, because without farmers or without the collaborations of the farmers, it's very hard to implement innovative technologies. So overall, for the government, they should identify region-specific climate-smart agriculture practices or technologies, and then meanwhile, they should also provide training to farmers to improve their willingness to help farmers understand the benefits associated with different types of climate-smart agricultures and guide them how to implement in reality, in practice. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. That's the response from the Mr. And I just want to repeat the perspective of sustainable agriculture. In the third question from Mr. Kenichiro Onitsuka. So the question number 3 is about the perspective of sustainable agriculture. Despite what happened in the Papua, there is malnutrition, hunger, several people getting hunger in there, and what is a sustainable agriculture? So that's the question number 3, Mr. Kenichiro Nitsuka, and I think it's your turn to give the response for the 3 questions from the student. Time is yours, Mr. Nitsuka.
Okay. Thank you very much for questions. Yeah, I try to answer one by one. Okay, so for the first question, it's about the kind of education for farmers. Yeah, I also agree with the Professor Wang Ling San. Yes, yeah, the farmers are the key. Yeah, to this key to the success of this type of smart agriculture. Yes, but in Japan, as I explained in the presentation, Japan has a very unique situation. Yeah, because now the majority of the farmers are very elderly people. Yeah, elderly. Yes. So it's always not easy for them to learn how to, for example, operate this type of very new agricultural machineries. So, in my opinion, the education is not always not good for the kind of elderly farmers, but it should be towards the kind of younger generation. So maybe the education, the Japanese government try to educate some younger potential farmers in the, for example, agricultural high school or agricultural university intensively. But point is, the challenge is like the number of the young potential farmers also has been declining. Yes, so that's why that type of the individual farmer is not so expectable. Actually, I think in Japan. So maybe some other kind of as actors, for example, like agricultural corporate or the private companies should take care of this type of smart agricultural challenges. Yes, it is the most possible way to realize the agriculture and using the smart technology. Yes. Sorry, this is for the first question. Oh, can you hear me?
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I can't.
Okay. Yeah, there is connection in here, so sometimes your voices is very sometimes doesn't clear because we also have several problems connection. So I think that the response from Mr. Wang Linma and Mr. Kenichiro Onitsuka, and we go question. Yeah. Standing. Okay.
Thank you so much this opportunity, and then I want to say first thank you so much for great material from Mr. Wang Lima and then Mr. Kenichiro. But for first for this change, I want to ask especially for Mr. Kenichiro Onitsuka. But before, let me introducing myself. My name is Lintar Pilihan Pintakami. I'm a lecturer from Social Economic Department of Agriculture Faculty. So for the first, I already make notes some of the big point how to necessary for sustainable agriculture, security, the next generation, and then about smart agriculture, support from the government for communities, and then consolidation, and mostly about technology smart agriculture. But for deeply, I didn't see about dynamic of organization from economic background of the research and education. It's really important when we see about dynamic of organization to support for communities, how to make growing up the motivated and then like support to young people farmers. So I have two big questions to Mr. Kenichiro. The first, there is challenge about dynamic of organization in Japan. When young people offering innovation, mostly the old farmer will be like hesitate for the maybe many old farmer it will be about that because before I have experience last 6 years I ever become extension worker in some of province in East Java, and then we already offering smart agriculture to farmer, but at the time the farmers maybe just use that for one harvest season, and then for next harvest season the farmer use that smart agriculture. It's like because the government already money for that for make that regulation. So it was happens is my experience. Do you have like how the situation farmer people deal with that situation? Because I'm in group like a like young people or we call millennial farmers. That is the first question, and then the second question. Last I already discussed with my colleagues in another university, and then discussion with other colleagues, we found that politic situation or politic environment is really give impact to every policy which government or Indonesian government make it. And I think that situation is really difficult. And how about in Japan? It's like same condition or no? And then motivated us or maybe another situation how we can face that situation if real if or
Okay.
politics situation give impact for every regulation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lintar. So the question is for Mr. Kinichiro on question. The first one is political vision of small central community, how to implement and may share your. And the second is about the how the policy formulated in Japan. Because in here, according to Lintar, is there is some obstacle. So you meant to give your experience about the two questions. Time is yours, Mr. Konichiro.
Thank you very much for your questions, but sorry, I cannot clearly hear the point of the questions. So can you write in the chat box? Example. Yeah, younger people. Yeah, I can hear you are talking about the younger generation, but what kind of topic? How to motivate the younger generation?
In here, there is what we call it millennial. So our government is introduced what we call a millennial farmer to that in Japanese you have a aging population.
Yes.
Something like that. But in here also, but we try to boost the interest of young generation. We call it millennial farmers. But I think most important point the Lintaro question, the first question is about you already mentioned the vision of small central community, and because I know that our background is from empowering our social sciences, she has interested in how community to be what we call it smart farm or sustainable farm, something like that. The dynamic, the capability to make a community is better, something like that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So you have how you to reach what step what act do you must maybe the 5 year or the first year, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, the connection is quite poor. So maybe, yeah, I try to, yeah, answer to the first question. So, okay, so how to motivate the younger people is always very important challenge in Japan. And also I have several opportunities to conduct a survey in Indonesia. Can you hear me? Yeah, and yeah, in Indonesia, actually, there are a lot of younger population, yeah, who actually are engaged in the farming, yeah. But I hear that most of the younger people wants to go out from the rural areas to seek for the better job opportunity. So maybe in rural areas, the situation will be the same as Japan. And, and so, yeah, Japanese government always, yeah, try to, for example, motivate younger people by paying a lot of kind of subsidies for the initial cost of the farming business. But still, governments are struggling with the how to keep the younger people interested in the agriculture. Yeah, this is the reality of Japan. And also, as for the kind of community or new type of community incorporating the multiple small scale community also is a very big challenge actually in Japan. Yeah, but there are several hurdles. Yeah, actually in the success or not success depends on the kind of characteristics of the community. Yeah, because there are several communities which are a bit introvert, so it's not so open to outsiders. And then it is very hard to combine those small community in one bigger kind of joint communities. But in some areas, it is very smooth to make that type of kind of joint or new larger scale community. Yes, so it is based on the kind of culture, local culture. So that's why it is, in my opinion, it is sometimes very easy, but sometimes very hard. Yeah, it depends. It depends on the region. Yes. And another point is political something. I still could not catch the question actually clearly.
Number two is about policy
noise.
formulation.
Huh?
So
Sorry?
you have vision, how you formulate policy, a government policy to support your vision. How to, you know that in Indonesia we have a central government and also the sub-level of central government we have also provincial or provincial government. Both of them have a policy to how in Japanese your experience. So Mrs. Linta want to know because she has working with the agricultural extension. There are several in here. So how about the Japanese in the Japan? The implementing what we call it agriculture and also declining farmer, how to come up with that, the consistent and the provincial and so thought government to that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. Also, government when government formulate the policy, appropriate policy, government always have a lot of communication with some scientists like us. So we often join the kind of meeting together with some governmental officials to consider the appropriate policies. I sometimes join this type of meeting. Yes. And then maybe the most important thing is the kind of policy or evidence-based policy making. Actually, it is the important keyword in Japan. So that's why government always try to keep the kind of knowledge, new knowledge by the kind of researchers like us. Is it what you want to hear? Oh. roads.
Beautiful presentation and excellent topic to discuss. And we have also discussion yesterday, discussed with it. Yeah? So how to come out, how to feed the 9 billion people in 2050, and the one of the solution is increasing farm productivity, as you mentioned, smart agriculture, and transforming farm to adopt smart agriculture is not easy. It is a difficult task, it's a challenging task. And you know that about the HR, human resources, how to improve, how to increase the capacity of the farmer to take the challenge. So I think it is us, especially in Indonesia, because as already mentioned by the first participant, but we have suffered the hunger, we have suffered the malnutrition in here. So I think it is a good insight for us, and I'm sorry because we have a limited time. And I'm sorry also for unstable connection. And to all of audience, I think this is a very good, interesting session. So to all of you, give applause to both of the presenter. Mr. Wang Lin, thank for your time, and I hope both of you very well and safe in Japan and also in New Zealand. God bless you. Audience,
Thank you very much.
attention, and I close this session with Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And I'll give it back to the Master of Ceremony.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rahman Hartono, SPMP, for leading the first session. And then we will move into the second session, and the second session by Professor Dr. Insinyur Kepi Sukesi, MS. So I invite Dr. Insinyur Kepi Sukesi to proceed to the stage. So before I hand to the Professor Kepi, let me read the curriculum vitae of her. Professor Dr. Insinyur Kepi Sukesi, MS, graduated from Bogor Agricultural University at 1993, doctoral degree, and then she has several services such as head of the Center for Gender and Population Research at University. And then reviewer of Mimbar, Journal on Social Sciences. And areas of expertise are women and gender, Indonesian women, and women in palm oil plantation. And then the stage is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. First, I would like to invite Mr. or Dr. Bustanul Arifin for coming, and please. Okay. Good morning, ladies. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the International Conference IKA-FOSI, held by Faculty of Agriculture, University of Brawijaya. I am Kepi Sukesi from Faculty of Agriculture, Brawijaya University. It gives me great pleasure to for the panel session of Mrs. Associate Professor Dr. Juwaidah Sharifuddin from University of Putra, Malaysia, and Mr. Professor Dr. Insinyur Bustanul Arifin, MSc. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to University of Brawijaya. Before we start the presentation, allow me first to read and introduce the short curriculum vitae of Ibu Juwaidah and Bapak Arifin. Associate Professor Dr. Juwaidah Sharifuddin, she has published and presented papers at a local and international forum. She has authored and co-authored about 40 journals articles, presented more than 50 conference seminar papers. She also was appointed as an examiner of several universities in Malaysia. Professor Dr. Juwaidah joined University of Putra, Malaysia in 2004 and had obtained her PhD at Cardiff University, UK. Currently, she is the Deputy Dean of Academic, Student and Alumni of Faculty of Agriculture, UPM. Associate Professor Juwaidah, welcome to this joint meeting by Zoom meeting. My second presenter, Professor Dr. Insinyur Bustanul Arifin, MSc, my friend a long time ago. We remember when in IPP, Pak Bustanul. I'm very glad this morning. She is Senior Economist, Institute for Development of Economic Finance, in-depth, and Professional Fellow in the School of Business at IPP University. He earned a PhD in Resource Economic from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, USA. He completed assignment of visiting as University of Wisconsin, University of Sydney, Australia, and University of Kentucky in USA. He contributed his expertise as President Indonesian Society of Agricultural Economic, PERHAPI. Yeah. She is the Senior Lecturer, Advisor, and Researcher of Department of Social Economic, Faculty of Agriculture, Lampung University. You are welcome, Prof. Bustanul. Give applause for him. Okay, in this session, there will two presenters, Ibu Associate Professor Dr. Juwaidah Sharifuddin from University of Putra, Malaysia, and Professor Arifin from Lampung University and head of PERHAPI. The first session, now allow me to welcome Juwaidah from University of Putra, Malaysia, first, to present the paper for 30 minutes, Ibu. Time is yours.
Terima kasih, Prof. Kepi. I will share my screen now. Boleh dengar ya?
Yeah.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My presentation today is going to be on organic farming for sustainable agriculture in the case of University Putra Malaysia. So this is, I'm going to share what we have done in UPM on organic farming. Okay, so I am from Department of Agribusiness and Bioresource Economics, Faculty of Agriculture, UPM. So firstly, does it change? Okay. So if we look at organic agriculture, it's actually a holistic production of management system. This is, I think everyone knows about this. This is usually looking at the input of the farm. Okay, so we want to try to make sure that we don't use any synthetic materials to fulfill any specific function within the system of farming. So we hope that when we practice organic farming, it is actually better for the planet, better for the people, better for nature and wildlife, and also it's taking care of the welfare for farm animals. Actually, in Malaysia, we have My Organic Malaysia. That is the standard certification that is being produced by Department of Agriculture, Malaysia. This is implemented since 2003 under a different brand. Now it's called rebranding. It's called My Organic Malaysia. So organic in Malaysia, it's not people in Malaysia have awareness, but it's not currently being implemented by all farms. Okay, so what Department of Agriculture is trying to do is try to recognize the farms that practice organic farming without the use of pesticides and synthetic fertilizer, so that it is going to produce safe and quality farm produce while preserving the environment. But we know that it's not going to be fruitful if we want to do the organic totally in the country. So at least some of it, some part of it can be organic and sustainable farming. Okay, so if you can see there, number of certified farms in Malaysia is only 138, so it's not that many. Okay, so what Department of Agriculture do is that they go and check the farms, and they have to confirm that the farm is free from pesticide and chemical fertilizer, contribute to environment sustainability, does not use GMO, it use resources from the farm as fertilizers, efficient farm management, increase farm production and productivity, and the logo itself actually is towards the consumers to increase the consumer confidence when they buy the product actually. Okay, so that is the situation here in Malaysia. So we have My Organic Malaysia. Now, under Faculty of Agriculture UPM, okay, we have one organic unit. So our organic unit has started from 2011, but then we have to walk the talk. So we need to make sure that we are also certified by somebody, some organization, to ensure that people can believe us. Okay, so what we do is that we apply for My Organic Malaysia since 2019, and this certification is renewed every year, okay, yearly. So this organic unit is located at Ladang 15, Faculty of Agriculture, UPM, Serdang. So we have two branch of UPM, one in Serdang, Selangor, one in Bintulu, Sarawak. So this one is in Serdang. So the land size that we have is 2 hectares. Ladang 15 is actually nearby to my office. So with this 2 hectares, it's not that big, but then we try to make sure that it's something that we can plant vegetables and fruit trees. If you see, this is on the right hand side, that is the certification of my organic. So actually it listed what are the type of crops that is already being certified as organic in our unit. Okay, so you can see misai kucing, hempadu bumi, dukung anak, that is herbs. Okay, and then kangkung, bayam, bayam hijau, bayam merah, terung, bendi, petola, peria. I think the name are different in Indonesia, but this is Malaysian name. Okay, kacang panjang, cili padi, mulberry, and also jagung. Okay, corn. So the activities that we have under the unit, organic unit, is for teaching and learning, production. This is for penjanaan pendapatan also, and then industry and community linkages, mobility, summer camp. We also have it done there. We also have internship from other universities, and the main thing that we did from 2011 is pendidikan organik for children, okay, untuk pemakanan sihat, healthy food, okay. So this is what we do for unit organic. The facilities that we have is plots, so scientific plots, production, research, teaching plots, and then we have the necessities, whatever that is needed for this unit, which is compost shed, insect-proof shed, post-harvest handling shed. We also have chiller there. We have nurseries, rain shelter, irrigation system, and the stores. Okay, so it's very basic, whatever that we have in unit organic right now. So these are the, that's why I said basic, what we have right now in organic unit, okay. So just to share with everyone, the teaching and learning that we do in our organic unit is several courses such as organic production system, farm practices, plant pathology, agriculture and life. So these are the courses that is being taken by students from our faculty and also students from other faculties too. Like PRT 2009, Agriculture and Life, this is being taken by all students in UPM because UPM is known as University for Agriculture. So even the students for medicine, they have to they still have to take agriculture and life. So they can come to organic unit to see some of the things that we are doing there. So another thing is we have internship from students. So we have students from University Malaya, UPSI, even University 11 Maret have come here for internship. But then that organic unit is not meant for internship for our own student, because our student have to do internship outside of this university. Okay, and then we also have activities. We teach on soil management, crop management, pest management, biodiversity, and also sustainability and well-being at the organic unit. Okay, and then this is also served as practical sites for short-term courses with agencies, NGOs, communities, etc. Okay, other than that, If you can see here, these are some of the samples of pictures lah. We have people coming over, but it's to get that certification from my organic, it have to have certain certain criteria that we have to take care of, and then they have to have buffer zone and all that. So it's actually very challenging to keep our farm as organic as possible. Okay, so these are teaching and learnings, and they also have some areas where students can go and see the soil mapping for composting, and then there are places where they will see shed for pesticide free. So at least what they will know is that at least they have basic knowledge if they want to apply this method in the communities or when they work after graduation. Okay, so in teaching and learning, we also include them when we are doing activities with the communities and children. Okay, so for example, these are the activities that we have done. We have children organic education, organic plant workshop. We have visits from IPB in Universitas Asahan, lifelong learning program for schools. So school children, it is divided between primary school and high school students. And then these are also things that are done to attract them to come into agriculture after they have finished their school, okay, after they have finished their high school. So summer enrichment program is also students from other universities are being taken into organic unit to see what we are doing here in UPM. Okay, so organic unit also participated in Putra Agriculture Mobility. It is also part of the scheme that makes UPM being recognized as sustainable green campus. And also we won Kursi KSN Award for that. Open Day, Selangor Agro Green Outreach Program, UPM with the ministry. So many things are being done to make sure that people are aware. UPM have one organic unit that also certified by the ministry. Okay. So these are examples of activities that we have done with the kids. Okay, we have them. We try because we also experiencing farmers who are getting not younger but older. So we are trying to make sure that they are youth in agriculture sector in Malaysia after this. So we start targeting from the kindergarten students, primary school, and also high school students. Okay, so some of the activities, we even have the parents come with the kids because we are not only showing them how to grow things, grow vegetables, grow where their food comes from, but after that, actually we are also showing them what to do with the vegetable. For example, we teach them how to make sandwich. We teach them what to do with the vegetables that they harvested from the farm. Okay. So actually, we have done many programs with schools, and Alhamdulillah, by this time, the application for our program is good. from the students. So we are not, in Malaysia, we have centralized applications for higher learning, Institute of Higher Learning. So there are times before this where for agriculture, the applications programs for agriculture, the numbers that they put for their application for agriculture program is like number 5, number 6, number 8. Okay, right now, Alhamdulillah, after we do all this for several years, we see that they are putting agriculture program as their first and second choice. So that makes it good for the scenario right now in Malaysia. So we also have Facebook. Before this, it is named Pendidikan Organik Kanak-Kanak untuk Makanan Sihat. But now we have moved and rebranded into Organic Agri UPM. So you can go to this site and see the activities that we are doing. Okay. And then other than that, we also have to go to the community. So we also teach the community and show them that organic farming is not that hard. And you can do it with whatever that you have from your home. Okay, so we have done it with several communities around UPM and also in several other states, because sometimes they call us from Johor, from Negeri Sembilan. So we go and show them, and also after that, sometimes they call us again to ask questions and all that. So at least we can say that it is being implemented in the community itself. Other than that, these are some internships and visits from outsiders into UPM, and also we actually every year, except for during COVID-19, we receive many students, many communities coming to see our organic unit, and later, I will show that we also have plans to improve the unit. Okay. We also have awareness campaign. Awareness campaign, it can be done by two methods. Either we bring people into our university site, or we go to the community itself. So these are some of the activities that we are doing. And then this is when we bring them into our area. We also show them how to do compost. We also show them what can be done with the how to recycle. And then so hopefully we give them knowledge, and it will not stop only there. We hope that they are going to implement whatever knowledge that they have. So these are also, we have conference of young scientists. We have activities such as little scientists. So we are not only trying to tell them on the physically how to operate organic farming, but we also focus on those who have might be determination to be scientists, for example, but scientists in something that contributes towards agriculture, because we also need that. So it's not only looking at those who are going to look into making a better biofertilizer, you know, how to do make it better for organic farming. So these are the things that we are looking at, so that it's not only at the farming side. Other than the community and students, we also have with NGOs. You can see many activities being done, and also they are very active, and they like to come and learn from people from this faculty. So these are also some examples. We teach on how to do compost fertilizer and liquid fertilizer. We also have vermicompost, but it's still small at this time. We also have sales of organic produce. So sometime we will have harvesting time. When we have harvesting time, usually what we do is they can come and harvest themselves, and then they pay for their whatever that they have harvested. But because of this, sometimes, okay, for example, we say this is 18 October last year, 2022, 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. But then usually it's like 8:30 until 10:30 and everything is finished. So what we can see is that people are aware and they want to buy organic produce, but it's not enough for us to produce for their consumption. That's why if you come to Malaysia, the section for organic vegetables in some of the supermarkets and hypermarkets is getting bigger now. Okay. It's just that because of certification is very important because we need to have people trust, okay, in the organic itself. This is our branding. We have UPM logo there, and the name Unit Organic Ladang 15 Faculty Pertanian. So whatever produce that comes out of our farm, we put this label so that it can create awareness, and also people know that UPM also is contributing in sustainable agriculture. So what is the way forward that we are seeing, and we try to improve our organic unit is might be in the future we will have smart agriculture, like what the audience just now said. Smart agriculture is not only using highest technology, but whatever that we can use to make it easier for us to produce. Okay, it might not, because if you want to see everything using high tech, might be it's not applicable, and it's not it cannot be purchased because it's very expensive. I also went to Japan, and their way of smart agriculture is whatever that their farmers can buy, their farmers can use. So we are also looking at that. So might be after this, not only on plants, we are looking also into chicken, rearing chicken and also fish. But for having fish farm, it's not going to be easy because there are many things that cannot be done in a certified organic farm. So we are looking into that if it's possible for us to do in UPM. And then we want to improve our vermicompost, increase the programs with community, children and youth, and also try to have edu-trip packages. But all this way forward, it's not as easy as it sounds, because we have limitations on labor, limitations on capital. So we are trying our best to make sure that it's good for people to come and see, but at the same time, it is also something that really follow whatever is supposed to be done by an organic farm. Okay, so that's it for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pak Pustano. Thank you for the interesting, very interesting topic, Ibu Suhaida. Now we are going to listen to the second part of the presentation by Bapak Bustanul Arifin here with the on the competitiveness and sustainability of Indonesian agriculture export commodities. About 30 minutes to Pak Bustani. Time is yours.
Very much, Profesor Kepi, Bapak Ibu sekalian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, thank you for the organizing committee for having me here. I'm coming home to Malang. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my presentation probably because I'm taking the downstream side. Let me step up. This is about the and sustainability of the Indonesian commodities, mostly the downstream part. Okay, I think I should go there. Okay, I got it. I have at least 3 cases, most palm oil, Prof. Kepi, and coconut, and governance ability in coffee. Probably we don't have time to mention many case studies, maybe 3 is more than enough. But before that, to have introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Indonesian economy, the structural transformation. Okay, if you see, if you are here, I think understand about the structural transformation. Today, I think it's not. I need the green one, but it's okay. Agriculture share of the GDP is 13.7%, and the industry theoretically increased, but unfortunately a bit decreased a little bit to 38, 36, 28, 26. You know what happens? We call it early deindustrialization. The impact of ASEAN crisis in 1998 huge, so our path of industrialization, I think, collapsed. If you see the numbers here, anybody have green pointers? Green pointers can go to the red one cannot go. Red one. You see that in 1995, the industry share is 41.8%. And economic crisis, then collapse, it's all the way declining. It's not a good path for our economic development. Agriculture sector decline, industry increase, service sector also increase. Okay, this is the theory. Similarly to the share of employment, agriculture share of employment decline, industry increase, service sector increase. But we, Indonesia, unfortunately after the reformasi, the path is jumping in sector. So I think you read the theory, the arguments in economic development theory. If we jump into sectors, if we do not follow the path, we're not selling our products, we're selling imported products. So very, very important consequences. Then the theory is very strong on that. So the idea have to be go through the added value creation, deepening industry, we call it hilirisasi, then we go to service sector. Otherwise, if the service sector develops faster than industrial sector, we selling Chinese product, which is not we expect. Now we are going to the theme. Ladies and gentlemen, what are the major agricultural export commodities? Mostly oil palm, this is from the highest to the lowest, okay? Coconut, coffee, cocoa, tea, and essential oil. Minyak atsiri, okay? Essential oil is also very important. The value is a lot actually, 36 billion. It's about 570 trillion, which is a lot of money, a lot of added value. Palm oil itself contribute about 81.4% of the total added value creation. The highest, okay? However, this palm oil sector has faced serious challenges and competitiveness and sustainability. So we come into the theme using this kind of entry point. Before that, the downstream development of oil have become the best practices of downstreaming agro-industry product, which is very good, okay? So I'm going to start with one by one. This is only numbers. You can just copy later. This is what I put in a slide before. This is about the number, palm oil, and so on. It's all the downstream products. Let's start with palm oil. In palm oil, because we have to discuss Ibu Kapi about the export and competitiveness and sustainability. Palm is the most efficient vegetable oil in terms of land use and in terms of tons, okay? Compared to soybean, cottonseed, ground flour, rapeseed, and so on. Look at the productivity. The productivity of our palm oil is 3.5 ton per hectare in terms of CPO already. Well, still low, but higher compared to other vegetable oils. But this comparison sometimes been criticized. So we compare with soybean oil, with in fact soybean is not the, soybean oil is not the main product of that soybean. The main product is the bean, it's not the oil. Palm oil, the main product is well, okay, but sometimes it's been used by our oil stakeholders that we are higher, we are more efficient. That's okay. Just one kind of argument building anyway. The production is the largest. We produced last year 46.2 million tons of CPO. And if total with PKO, it is about 51 million tons. It's very huge, very, very large number. Good about 48% of the total 96.3 million tons in the world. We in Malaysia together, okay, contributing how much? 70%? 70%. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe for young agriculture economists, if you are joining society, probably we need you for the future. I myself now is the chairman of scientific committee of COPC. What is COPC? Council of Palm Oil Producing Countries. It's been established the last 10 years, but we are not very good in the. So if you want to join that CPOPC, just apply the job. Until now, only 3 countries become the member. Thailand, well, say yes and no, they become observer many times. The members on Indonesia, Malaysia, and Honduras. What do you call? Nicaragua, many, Brazil, Argentina, they still wait. So probably in the will do diplomacy to ask our African countries, African nation. Why? It's very important for our theme, for our topic here. If we have problem with WTO, we not only speak for the sake of palm oil, African countries could speak. So we will do this kind of diplomacy in this near future. But it's not easy because our stakeholders enjoying the benefit very much, so they feel they do not want country. I think we should strengthen our diplomacy. Ladies and gentlemen, the data, maybe you same thing that I put in my presentation anyway. If you see decline here, it's not because of decline. So I cut off 2023 because 2023 is not yet there. The data I believe will be increasing. However, problems of what do you call El Nino is also affecting a little bit, but not very much. Yeah. Look at that. We exporting in terms of oleochemical, biodiesel of FAME, and the consumption is only 18. So use 51.3, but we export 33.7. But today's theme, we're talking about the 33.7 million ton. To which countries did I put here? Maybe not. No, I didn't put here. And this only regions of producing regions. The 10 largest: Riau, North Sumatra, Central Kalimantan, and East Kalimantan, some South Kalimantan, and so on. So this is very interesting. Maybe I should introduce as well. I'm also the research committee for BPDP. Okay, then BPDP offering research grants a lot. We just make decision. I think it's about, I don't know, 2 million rupiah, maybe I forget. Yeah. So we invite proposal every year from all disciplines, technology, social economics, of course, IT, mechanical, and many things. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, maybe this is of our interest as well. Who are the producers? You see the diagram I created. It is very interesting. If you want to see the red color is the state. It is the state is majority. PTP, yeah, 68%. Then decline to 33%, decline to 8%. Now it's only. Who are the majority now? Private sector, big plantation private. Sinarmas, Bakri, Salim, and everybody. Okay. The state is only 4%. Farmers is also the majority now. I mean 41%, which is a lot. The yield, the productivity is less. I think put it here. Did I put the productivity? Yeah. Look at the productivity. It's very low. Still 3.5 million ton per hectare. I mentioned earlier. The potential is a lot. Okay. In terms of FFB, fresh fruit bunch, tandan buah segar, technically use 30 ton per hectare per year, but in fact only less than 15. Last plantation is 15%, about maximum 20, maybe less than 20 ton per hectare per year. Our farmers, smallholder, is only 12. It's not even a half of the potential. That's the job of us, including the agronomy people, agronomy friends, to increase the yield and the potential is still there. I'm going back to so we are aiming to be more for a lot of purpose, not only for global demand, but for ourselves, Ibu Kepi, for our own generation. So we have certification, ISPO, RSPO, ISCC, and so on. RSPO, Sustainable Sustainable Palm Oil, ISCC, International Standard for Carbon Certification, RSPO is Indonesia, okay, ISPO Indonesia Sustainable Palm Oil. So we've been there, but if you want to go the detail, when Indonesia decided to go in energy transition, biofuel, and the price is up. 2022, if you remember, and the cooking oil price is up, and we get creating problem. Should we stop? Half a moment. Okay, let's continue. In this slide, I put sustainability and competitiveness require good diplomacy. Okay. Now maybe I need more. Okay, let's go to the next case, which is coconut. Okay, coconut is Indonesia is also the largest in 2020. I saw the data 21 a little bit declining. Philippines go up. However, the area, I mean, the productivity very low. Total farmers involved 5.8 million. I think this time there is less research on coconut. I'm not sure what happens actually. Look at the production, 3 ton, I mean 3 million per year. Whole nut export unprocessed is 25%. What are the regions? Riau, Jambi, actually Lampung, but not North Sulawesi, Central Sulawesi, Maluku, and East Java, sometime at NTT. Okay. The important case of competitiveness. There's a study by Amzu. They're using EP, export product dynamics. If our student want to apply, this is also very important. So this is quite very simple. You can just put the interaction, okay, between competitive and dynamics. So the green color, I put the green color is rising star. If competitive in terms of countries export in international trade, but share product international trade falling, we call it falling star. And the lower row over there, we call it lost opportunity, but and stagnant and retreat. So now what happened with the comparison of the Indonesia with other products? First, in terms of coconut oil, the second is in terms of desiccated coconut. Okay, the RCA is very simple. I think you can see. You can compare to export the destination for China. The coconut oil export to China fall into different quadrant. Lost opportunity. For USA, rising star. Export to Korea, falling star. You understand answer, right? Refill comparative advantage. Desiccated coconut, Germany, all falling star except export to Russia. But of course, this maybe you should consider other factors in addition. My point is, we should develop more downstream products of coconut. Very important, the added value is there. You remember that. Sugar, coconut meat, mature coconut, coconut water, husk, coconut shell, and so on. Okay. The last one is coffee. Coffee is number 4, mostly Robusta in Lampung and South Sumatra. 90% of coffee is smallholders. However, what are the producing regions? Of course, this is 10 largest producing regions. You can just statistik perkebunan. I think I visited almost all except Papua probably, doing research on coffee. The sustainability certification, there are many. I put it some logos of certification standard. You can see that Starbucks, they call it cafe, is coffee and farmers equity. Then second party, SAI, organic, POSI, and everything. So it means if you want to go export, exporting this product, you have to have that certification. Otherwise, you cannot go in the international market. However, in the downstream agroforestry system, this is much easier to do certification for sustainability. As seen here is sustainability certification. Last point, Professor Kepi, ladies and gentlemen, even though you are going to do competitiveness and sustainability, the social capital is also very important. Sometimes social capital is the product of sustainability. Connecting farmers to market, farmers' knowledge about certification, the differences between many certifications, sometimes farmers are not aware. Farmers also have opportunistic behavior. If they have a lower price and other certification, they move to different certification. Okay, this is my presentation. You have maybe comment and discussion. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Bustanul. Now is question and answer. We have two interesting topics. I invite the participant, please mention your name and where are you from. Maybe two participant, okay? Ya, Ibu. Ya, Ibu berdua. Ya, silakan Ibu.
Yes,
Please.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Kepi. I would like to ask, I would like to introduce myself. I am Foni from Universitas Andalas Padang. We met, I think, last week, at the
in Andalas University.
Okay, this time I visit you. Okay, my question is for Prof. Juwaida from UPM. Yeah, Prof, it is very interesting to know that your faculty already have organic farming unit, yeah. So and it was established in 2011, right? Yeah. So I just want to make sure, how did you start it and make sure that it is implemented organically? Because we know that if it is call farming, there are a lot of requirements to get the certificate. Are you starting by using or implementing low external input sustainable agriculture first? Just, starting with the organic farming approach for the 2 hectares area. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibu Foni. Ibu Zubaida, please give the comment for Andalas University.
All right. Thank you very much for the question. Ibu, I think we are very lucky because at that time we have to move from the main campus to this area. So when we move here, that means that's the starting of that organic unit. That means we did not use any fertilizer, pesticide yet on the land. So when we started, there's nothing that has been done at that area, which is in front of my office here. So it's nothing there at that time. So when we want to start, we already said that that land is allocated for organic farming, and we make sure that there are very wide buffer area so that nothing can come with the wind, okay, and then affect the vegetables that we grow there. And then we also practice having fruit trees at the border so that it does not have much impact from the surrounding environment. But what we have here actually, it's like quite far from other places where we do research or whatever that other things that are not organic. So that is the good side of it, because we start from the beginning. We say that that place is for organic farming. So it's not like in 2012 we start to reduce or whatever using pesticide or fertilizer. So when we start to use to say that land is for organic farming, it's like firstly we are doing like the organic farming way. So it's not like from the traditional practice to organic. It's not like that.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer.
Yeah, okay. I would like to invite the second question. Please. Oh, Ibu, ya.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, my name is Cindy Paloma. I'm also come from Andalas University.
Oh.
And I have a question, both of you, both of our narasumber, Jumaidi and also Prof. Bustanul Arifin. So it's a very interesting topic about the organic farming. I think organic farming in Indonesia can also potential to grow market. The demand of the organic product supposed to be increased because many people like society and also like young couple household and also office worker is really awareness about the safety and also the healthy food, and they also willingness to pay or spend more money to buying the product. But in the other side, we face our farmers have a restriction to commit to grow the organic product. I think it's need government hand by the policy to involve farmers to successfully the organic product. So what do you think, Prof. Sanul Arifin and also Prof. Jumaida, about the government sector roles in the organic farming? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu. Please, Ibu Zuaida first, and then Pak Bustanul Arifin will give the comment to the second question. Please, Ibu.
I thought you want to give to Bapak first. Okay. Regarding that, actually, it's not everybody wants to pay high price for the organic product. You have to remember, if it's organic, actually it's not beautiful. And many people wants to eat beautiful vegetable. There's no, kita panggil apa, ulat there's no pest. And then it's, if you look at that, then actually there are a segment of the market who wants to buy beautiful products, beautiful to the eye, and it's cheaper. So not everybody can afford organic farming, because organic farming actually requires more labor, and it's going to be more expensive if it is done at the bigger size, bigger production site. So I don't think that it's going to be a problem for the farmers. Who wants to do organic farming can do organic farming. Who doesn't want to do it because of many challenges, so they can do the whatever practices that they have now. It's just that whatever that you are using should not be detrimental to the health of human and also to the animals. So actually we cannot say that you have to move toward organic 100%. We don't want to be like one country where they want to do 100% organic and suddenly it cannot be done, because you have to have all the backup to have 100% organics. And I don't think it's also possible for even Malaysia or Indonesia to do that. Indonesia is big, so for a vast land, for you to do all organics is going to be very, very difficult, I think. So might be Bapak can answer better.
Okay, thank you, Zubaida. Thank you for the questions. You're asking about the government. As far as I know, they encourage the Pentan, I forget the numbers, to encourage the organic farming. However, the components, probably we should pay more attention of the components of the policies. It's not only about pure organic farming, to include what do you call improving health. It's also part of organic farming. What does it mean? If you understand, we've been using chemical fertilizer more excessive. You want the number, the average use in Java is above 280 kilograms per hectare. Recommended is only less, of course. But however, in some other places, it's very, I think, only less than 100 kilogram of chemical fertilizer. However, anyway, the impact of chemical application, both fertilizer and pesticide, I think is only destroy the capacity of soil to the water content. If you remember the soil science a little bit, the organic inside our soil, I think is really, really less. It's proven if you see if there's El Nino or not, and our land, our soil is cracking. It means there is organic material. So we should invest in any activities that will improve the health of the soil. I heard our friends in soil science, they're not using fertility anymore. They're using the word soil health. That is also very, very important. In terms of my presentation over there earlier, if you are applying organic farming in coffee, for example, so you should start with the policy not to apply a ban pesticide. The pesticide has been banned by the government. So this is the role of the government, controlling the one that have excessive impact. So by applying this, you can contribute, you can, what do you call, qualify for this. The second maybe is encouraging farmers to use shade tree. Tanaman naungan. Shade tree is also very important, not only for what we call land erosion or soil erosion, but also to provide what we call legume nodulating bacteria. That's also what we call making availability of nitrogen fixation underneath the water. This is also part of organic. For that, reduce the use of chemical fertilizer. So this kind of thing. The certification is there. We should encourage our farmers to do that. If, again, according to Ibu Zubaida, if farmers have price differentiation very well, they must be interested in. Normally, the market segment organic farming is top end of the consumer. Orang yang takut mati kan.
Thank you. I think very clear the answer from two presenters. I have a small time. One question again. Yeah, please.
Okay, much for the chance that has given to me. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Simon Abitubu, and I'm a student from Agriculture Faculty of University of Brawijaya. I would like to ask you, Professor Bustami. First is about the palm oil. Recently, I've read about the war about the European Union and Indonesia about the palm oil. Certainly, they talk about the war, the palm oil, the crude palm oil, and the sunflower oil. So, what about how do you see about these wars? Is it truly that palm oil is unfriendly to the environment? And the second one is I would ask you about the organic application in Indonesia. There is some small village in Gorontalo. It names Pinogu, which is in 22. It has been certified in organic farming in coffee. But the fact is that there are people who think the organic certification is important, but they have been facilitated with it. So how about this social problem that you seen in Pinogu, sir? So is there any new perspective from you so that we together help it in Pinogu or maybe in Indonesian society, sir? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simon. Let me question first. It's also happened in Lampung. The case also happened in Lampung and Aceh and Sidikalang, everywhere. Okay. Probably, if I could recommend, you should connect our farmers with the buyer first. The buyer that really to buy organic coffee higher than the regular coffee. This is also very important. You know that our farmers respond to incentive, this economic incentive. You don't do that, I think they will not they will not understand the real value of the organic farming. It's very so making the connection. Then certification is a of this kind of commitment. We did a small way. Actually, I did study on that sustainability certification, and we invite all farmers chief organization. Not much, I think only 12 farmers organization had, and we invite them before start the meeting, the formal meeting, we talk with them. Actually, what is your motivation of joining the certificate? This is so they really genuinely, truly say that actually I'm going to have higher price. That's it. Are you concerning about protecting the environment and everything? Well, yeah, something like that. So the values of sustainability on applying organic farming is not yet there. So we have to work hard to improve the awareness of farmers. One point is about making incentive of the price. Then probably the views of sustainability, not what do you call environment and everything will come later. This is my own experience. Your first question on palm oil. Actually, the story is too long. I cannot explain very short. There been war in terms of perception, and all over again. The first war starting in 1990s, when is being accused of what do you call the heart disease, high cholesterol, and so on. At that time, we still were a newcomer in the palm oil industry. Malaysia has been very active making campaign and publishing article everywhere in the world saying that the trans fat is not yet there as has been accused. And in fact, there is some process, maybe if the process is not very good, maybe the trans, sometimes they call it only trans fat, actually trans fatty acid, asam is very high. But if the process very and the good standard of machine, good manufacturing practices, and the trans fat is very low, starting in the 1990s. In 2020s, actually after the Earth Summit of Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit, this argument shifting into the environment issue. Yes, of course, if you destroying the what do you call net, actually we don't like that. And after this, we pressure the government during President Yudhoyono. The government adopt very radical policies that moratorium on expansion. And until now, we did moratorium. We have been doing moratorium until now. There's no more expansion of palm oil to virgin forest and on peatland, tanah gambut. We didn't do that. We could improve the yield. Okay, this is the theory. And some places probably our farmers, our smallholders have been encroaching to the land. Now, from my data, about 16 million hectares of palm oil, about 3.3 million hectares of palm oil inside. 3.3, it's a lot. Then the government established Perpres, I forget the number, 93 I think, called industry governance held by Pak Luhut to really problem of palm oil inside the forest. A lot of discussion, I think you can just share that. Bahasa Indonesianya keterlanjuran, sudah terlanjur di dalam. Then the thing, we have a lot of, but probably my first slide, maybe you should learn a lot from my slide, because the palm oil is really competing with all vegetables. Competitive. That and lot of argument. Until now, I put in one of my slides. Indonesia is registering into the SB, Dispute Settlement Body of WTO. We are rejecting the argument of RED, Renewable Energy. You see that. Until now, it's not yet decided. Hopefully by November. Maybe we will lose, maybe, but last time we win, 2018 we win, nothing like that. It's all about trade war. Do not take it seriously, but you have to be over there. If you are interested in a lawyer, please join the international firm organization. It's all very important. I've been there. I've been in Geneva to do in WTO. The lawyers is only 5, I think. Only 5 legal firm from Indonesia dealing with international dispute. Our lawyers lebih senang membelain artis kawin cerai daripada itu. Okay, very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Standel. I'm sure we will have enormous question or topic to be discussed. Due to limited time, we need to end of our discussion today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally come to the end part of the panel session. Before I close the session, I would like to take some remark, not highlighted because I don't know much about export, import, and so on. Only some remarks for presenter, Associate Professor Dr. Aida. We have the good experience from UPM with the activity farm. Organic farming system, yeah, and how to implementation in teaching, learning, production until post-harvest handling need in many activities, campaign, and improving the organic unit in UPM. It's very good experience. From Professor Bustanul, we have several commodities with the potential for export: palm oil, coconut, coffee, and so on. And we know that the price in the world market is up and down. Ya, salah siapa? Yeah, and palm oil contribute 81%, but we have some remark, the production is still low. Yeah. And important for us to look at the potential of several export commodities from Indonesian agriculture with the homework how in world market with sustainable perspective. I think this is important for agricultural agriculturalists. Okay, so thank you very much for the insightful discussion today, Pak Bustanul and Ibu Aida. Give your best, be healthy, and give to the big applause for Pak Bustanul and Ibu Zubaida. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in other session. All the best. Stay well, and good afternoon. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih banyak.
Ada sertifikat untuk Prof. sama Arifin itu diserahkan oleh siapa ya, Ibu? Okay, I would like to say thank you so much to Professor Dr. Insinyur Kepi Sukesi, MS, for leading the second session. And I would like to give a thanks to Dr. Juwaida Sharifuddin and Professor Dr. Insinyur Bustanul Arifin, MSc, for as our keynote presenter today. And before we move into our next agenda, I would like to give, I think to Professor Arifin as our keynote speaker, and we still have a certificate to give to Professor Bustanul Arifin, and I would like Professor Nufil Hanani to give the certificate to Professor Bustanul Arifin. Okay, I will inform to all the students, you may go outside from this main hall. Okay, I will inform once again to all the students, you may go. As we're approaching our break time, all the guests and all the invitations, you may have a break and you may take lunch and take your time. Thank you.